So I didn't realize my mic was off. So good thing we're testing. Mic was off on the computer. So you're gonna have about 7 minutes of me just talking with no noise. So do apologize for that, but we got that fixed there. Well, when people come in, we're going to talk a lot about it. If you're still on the fence and you're thinking about getting into crypto, get into it. Just get into it. I'm telling you, just to get into it. You just put the money in, start investing, start doing your research, start really asking yourself the hard questions. 'Cause I can't tell you how many times people just don't. They keep saying what if instead of just let's get it done and get involved in there. So we're waiting for Cody to come on board. He should be coming on board any minute. We're gonna have our morning chat with you guys. We do this live every morning, usually at 8:30. We're a little late today. I'm a little late getting into the office, getting everything set up here, but it is definitely a good day to talk about crypto because right now the war for bears and bulls is going on, and you need to know, guys, you need to know how to take the best advantage of it. Do keep in mind, tomorrow we are having our live stream. I'm going to put that down in the link below. We are having our live stream every Friday, Wednesday, and Sunday. We have those for just our crypto talks, different topics, and everything like that. So welcome in, everybody. If you got any questions, certainly feed them in there. I'm more than happy to help. More than happy to help answer any questions or anything like that. So as we're here, we're just really waiting for Cody to get on board. As we're doing this, I'm just kind of doing some trading and things like that. So just don't mind me. But if you got a question, certainly feel free to ask. And also bear with me. I do run a business, so I got to answer some people here. Let me see. Gotta see if I can. Oh, there you are.
Are you able to hear me?
All right. Hey, what's up, Cody?
How you doing, man? Are you able to hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Awesome, man. I'm just sipping on some coffee, just getting the day started.
Hey, yeah, I don't blame you. Got my pot going. Haven't had it yet. But what's up? We're going to talk about some news. I do want to say, guys, Ethereum started there is going to start there with the 8% staking on there, and I think that's going to definitely it's going to one help bring up Ethereum to the next level. But let's go over our intro. I know some of you guys have been waiting a little bit, but this is Cody. He kind of the guy that got me into crypto. For you guys on TikTok, you can kind of come over to YouTube if you want. We're kind of recording. Make sure you guys hit us up every morning. I'm doing this at 8:30, so you guys get my mindset on what's going on with crypto and how I'm investing, and also if I'm cashing out some profits or anything like that. Cody's the one that got me onto a lot of this, and he does do a lot of great research, which helps me grow my portfolio. So it's definitely good.
Oh yeah, I stay on top of research all the time.
Absolutely. So with it, he's the one that put me on to ETH. I definitely been DCAing into it a lot, especially since I got in at 1,000, but it hit 850. That's when I decided I should be getting into it. But Cody definitely definitely helped me along with that process there. And I've been staking it. I've been staking for 4.5%. So for me, 8% is wild on that. So what do
Oh,
you think about that, Cody?
Oh, so I think that's great because right now, if you stake on Polkadot, which, Polkadot is one of my favorites right now. And after inflation, you get about 6%. Same thing with Atom. Atom is an inflationary token. After inflation, you get about 5% APY. So, I mean, Ethereum moving to 8% APY, that's huge, especially if you're on like Rocket Pool or Lido. A lot of people
Exactly.
stake on Rocket Pool. That's one of the biggest right now. But I think
Absolutely.
But I think Ethereum is moving in a good direction in terms of being deflationary because you have all these other projects on it that are pumping up, and gas fees went up for a while. But actually, I bought some quant this morning, and the network fee was pretty cheap. So I mean, it was about $5 to send some quant. And as you guys know, quant is an ERC20 token. So if Ethereum fees are high, ERC20 tokens are going to be high
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. But I do think it's gonna be good if Ethereum stakes. If you get that 8%, more people will stake. I think more people from retail investors will get involved, and that will prevent, I guess, the buy. It'll put more towards holding than towards buy sell. So I think people will be more buying, holding it, and just letting it sit for a while. But I do think it's kind of crazy that they did this 8%. Now they're on proof of staking rather than
Proof of work.
proof of work. So
I think things would be a lot different if Ethereum was still on proof of work. The
oh yeah.
Bitcoin's going through a lot when it comes to congestion, and not only that,
Mhm.
um, BRC20 is actually congesting it, and miners are actually having to pay ridiculous fees for the block rewards and all that. So, I mean, it's weird to see what's going on with Bitcoin. A lot of people are waking up and seeing that it is pretty faulty. Ethereum has some faults too, but I mean, I'd rather have Ethereum's current issues, and at least in my personal opinion, than Bitcoin's because
Oh yeah.
I worry more with Bitcoin, you know, as well as the issues that's going on with it. A lot of people are looking to layer twos. You're going to see things like Polkadot, which is why I'm betting huge on it. I'm not a paid promoter, but yeah, layer twos and layer zeros are going to be doing very well if we get another bull run for sure.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely excited about Atom Dot and Quant. My excitement for XRP is dropping a little bit, but because I think the case is going to take still another year to resolve on XRP till it's fully done. But man, once that case gets resolved and they get back on Coinbase, they get back on all the major exchanges like what's that, Bit Bitnex or whatever it is. I don't really use a lot. I just use Coinbase and Uphold. But if it gets on all the major exchanges, it's gonna skyrocket because
Oh yeah.
at 42 cents. Let me see here. I'm gonna try and share my screen here.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Coinbase, did you see that email that was going out to a lot of people from Coinbase? It was actually pretty embarrassing, and I think Coinbase is trying to chase some clout because they sent out an email to all their customers saying pretty much that the Pepe the Frog coin or whatever is pretty much an alt.
Hmm.
It's an alt right like hate speech thing. a lot of
Oh
people,
yeah,
a lot of people are going after Coinbase right now because turns out they
mm,
I forgot what it was called, but this place for defamation actually said that it's not a hate speech thing, and that Coinbase was just trying to
mm.
manipulate and all that. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Coinbase right
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh yeah. If you guys are invested in Coinbase, you're going to be in for a wild ride because I made a lot of money off the initial shorting of it, and I knew it was going down. I had two big shorts actually during last year, and one was in Carvana and one was in Coinbase. And Coinbase, I made a lot of money off of it, and I can tell you it's still going to go down, but it's not a company that's going to disappear. It's definitely going to make a comeback. I feel it's strong as comeback. I even personally have the one of their new cards too.
Oh
So
yeah, I do too. And as you
yeah.
know, everybody knows Kathy Wood. Kathy Wood
Oh
is
yeah.
very spot on with her Coinbase trades. Like Kathy Wood has, every time she's sold, there's always an event that comes after that, and she knows like insider information. It's
Absolutely.
it's crazy. She's spot on with her trades.
Oh yeah, she definitely is. She's definitely is, especially in the crypto area. But I still think Coinbase is a good hold long term, but I'm not going to get any more stock in it until it drops a little more. I'm not too comfortable with the pricing right now of it. I think it needs to go down a little lower, but I do think they're a solid company. They'll make it through this. I think their legal team is starting to rethink some of the decisions. But I'm hoping they're going to do start trying to push to get Gensler out of there, put pressure on the necessary people to get Gensler out of the head of the SEC and get someone in there that's a little younger and more competent and knowledgeable about crypto and new emerging assets and investments.
Oh yeah, they're cracking down hard on exchanges too, and honestly, I'm not mad about that because there's a lot of exchanges that are doing shady stuff. A lot of people are actually moving towards Gemini. The Winklevoss twins.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They're
definitely.
the ones who made Gemini, and pretty much after what Coinbase did, last night with that email about Pepe the Frog being
Mhm.
alt-right hate speech, a
Yeah.
lot of big investors in Coinbase, like there was one on Twitter that he said he's selling all his Coinbase shares and he's moving all his funds to Gemini.
Hmm.
So
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I kind of worry about if they had the decision making process to send that email, what other decisions are they going to make like that could jeopardize
Hmm.
their reputation.
Yeah, and and for you guys, if you guys are in Pepe Coin, I mean, God bless you. I hope you only took it as just a simple lottery ticket gamble, but that was a clear pump and dump, and we were watching it live in live time dump down. So
Yeah.
I really, really hope you guys got out and hopefully made some money or didn't lose as much. But you do have to be careful about those type of things out there because they're out there. Those type of coins are out there, and there's really no utility, nothing for it that I could see from Pepe coin. So other than just being what it is, but
People would call like quant or like something like that a gamble, but in my case, I would call it more of an educated one because I sent you a lot of news about quant yesterday, and pretty
yeah,
much, Quant went live with the Digital Pound Foundation, and the Digital Pound Foundation said Quant was actually the Quant team was an important role in that conference because they hit on a lot of things about tokenizing assets, you know, and pretty much being that interoperable bridge for a lot of not only just crypto assets but
hmm
assets in general, like tokenizing real estate, tokenizing
yeah,
bonds.
exactly.
That's going to be huge. You can send bonds in the form of a token. Assets are going to be tokenized everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like I said, like I've been saying to you guys all along, if Bitcoin is crypto gold, Quant is crypto platinum. It's like the next step up of it. And there's whatever they have is a set amount, and that's what it's going to be.
Could you go on the quant chart real quick
Yeah,
for me?
let me pull up
I
that.
want to show everybody something here.
Where'd you go, Quant?
It's like number 40, 30 something. There it is, right below VChain.
Oh, there it is. I always miss it. All right.
So if you go click on the 5 year
Let's go click here.
or at all, it doesn't matter.
Here we go.
Yeah, see, look at that. That Quant has pretty much, it went on a 5 month rally last year. It went on a 5 month rally. I remember it was like around June. And
Hmm.
pretty much Quant hasn't dipped below $100 at all. $100 is like crucial support for Quant.
No,
It was at $45 last year, and it still hasn't even dropped below $100. And it's very likely that it can, especially since it's a pre-halving year. Because if you look back at all pre-halvings, 2019 was a pre-halving year,
yep.
2015 was a pre-halving year, and during those pre-halving years, what you can find out is, we had 6 red months and 6 green months in 2019. Then we
Mhm.
had about 7 green months and 6 red months in 2015. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is, right now the Bulls are winning, but eventually the Bears are going to come in, and Quant could most likely go to around $75, $80, and it could go lower from there. But If that would happen, then that means Bitcoin would have to go to a low of like 20,000, 19,000, and a lot
Mhm.
of these assets are going to drop. And I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for a big crash.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that too. So I'm waiting for that too. But what I'm thinking is, I think there's more people betting on Bitcoin rising up than there will be rising going down.
Oh yeah, the dominance is increasing.
But I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be long Bitcoin. They're going to be putting in their derivatives, and then they're going to get wiped out soon. I don't know if it's going to be in a month or two, but I'm thinking end of June they're going to get wiped out, and then it's going to be a good time to get in there, get as much as you can, much Bitcoin. Although I've been dollar cost averaging in for a while, so when I got in, Bitcoin was like, I think it was like $48,000 when I got into crypto. So I just been slowly dollar cost averaging down. I've been getting all my interest in Bitcoin from a lot of my staking, but now I'm really just putting hard money into Bitcoin and ETH, as I can see once June hits, I'm thinking we're going to tank a little bit. The whole market's going to go down a little bit, probably about 200, 300 million in valuation. We're going to lose that $1 trillion mark, because I think what we're at right now, 1.12 trillion market cap for the whole crypto industry. So I think it's going to go back down to 800 million, and then we're going to start skyrocketing, because then the bears are going to win, like you said, and then a few months after that, the bears are going to lose.
Oh yeah, and one thing I do want to talk about, and I think probably the most important topic of this stream actually would be Tether, because to me, Tether looks like a house of cards that's just going to fall. And let me explain. If you go look up Tether on Google and go look at their reports for their reserves, and what you notice is Tether's backed by a lot of Bitcoin. And if you look at their cash reserves, they only have about $400 million worth of cash, and that's kind of worrying. And pretty much what a lot of people say is, once Tether goes down, like we could see Bitcoin go to a low of like $3,000, and I find that very true. A 90% drop from here would put it at around that. And Tether to me just looks like a house of cards. They're like an unregulated bank, and Tether is just dangerous, man. That's what I think about it.
Yeah, it's a ticking time bomb, but it's kind of like one of those things. It's better to rip off the band-aid now than to just keep waiting. Like I
Yeah, but
think it's one of those things. It's got to crash, market's got to stabilize. But
Tether's been in investigation since April 25th, 2019. That was the day that the
okay,
investigation started for Tether. And remember in 2021 when they said they were backed by a lot of commercial paper?
yeah,
They're actually not backed by commercial paper. They
yeah,
changed that. And see, they're backed by a lot of Bitcoin, and that's why would you want to be backed by that? Their cash
exactly.
reserves are about $350 million. You say you have $50 billion in reserves, you're showing about 400 million in cash. That sounds pretty
Yeah,
worrying to me.
exactly. And this is why, folks, we say that some regulation is good. I know a lot of you guys are going to hate it, especially those Bitcoin maxis are going to hate any form of regulation. But we do need regulation, because something like this isn't systemic only to crypto. This is in the investment world everywhere. People just lie about what they have, and sometimes some things are just cash grabs, and things like
Right.
that.
And a big worry of mine is, you say rip off the band-aid now, but what if we're getting into a bull run, right? And all of a sudden, that's when Tether decides, the house of cards, decides to fall, because Tether to me is just probably the biggest nail in the coffin for the industry, if it doesn't get regulated. And I've seen some news articles saying that Tether would have to, register for a banking license, pretty much.
Yeah,
And they're pretty much trying to say, well, if Tether's going to try to be a bank of the digital asset space, there needs to be a lot of regulation, and they need to have a banking license, because you can't just you can't just run that way. You know, you have
Oh yeah,
$400 million
absolutely.
in cash, but you have other assets that, aren't even as tangible to keep sustaining that.
Yeah, this is the one thing I can agree on with a lot of people is that the crypto the crypto industry for these stable coins, they do need some type of regulation because people are counting on it being have a sustained value no matter what the times. And that's going to be difficult if it's all smoke and mirrors. However, if we do have a bull run, Tether won't go under.
Oh yeah, for sure, because they're backed by a lot of Bitcoin too, and and pretty much to me it sounds like that's what they're banking on. They're betting on another bull run to back up the fact that they have reserves. Once another bull run comes, you're going to see Tether cash out a lot of Bitcoin and other digital assets, and then you're going to see them in 2025 say, "Oh, we're backed by all this money," but they
Yep,
weren't backed
exactly.
by all that money this whole time. And
Mhm.
another thing that worries me is if you go look up on a Twitter account called Whale Alerts.
Mhm.
Tether prints out probably a billion Tether a lot. And once they print out this Tether, as you notice, Bitcoin spikes because what Tether does is they print out Tether and then they buy a lot of Bitcoin with it. And to me, that doesn't sound like a good thing. That's actually terrible for the space.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's just one of those things like Tether. I see a lot of people using Tether, but when it comes time to cash out, Tether is screwed. And
It
what's going
is.
to happen is that just like any other investment field, you are eventually going to get a bull run. You are going to get a bull run or a run on the bank, so to speak, on Tether or any of these things as people say, "Hey, I want my cash, not my
Not my UST,
yeah,
not
not
my
my US
Bitcoin. They
yeah,
want their cash.
yeah." Hey, on TikTok, hey, what's up, Jameson? Glad to join us here. Like and subscribe, follow us. We do this every day, folks.
Yeah,
8:30 start time.
Tether is a big concern because you see a lot of these influencers, it seems like they're just ignoring Tether and the fact that it's a big house of cards. I
Hmm.
mean, anybody with some sense of logic could see that. If you look into Tether and you look at their recent quote unquote audit, which wasn't even an audit, they need to release a real audit. But the crap that they're putting out, the news that they're putting out, Tether people need to know about the risks of Tether and not just Tether itself, but the impact it could have on the whole market. It could ruin the whole
Hmm.
reputation of the market if Tether doesn't have some type of regulation.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough thing because it could cause a lot of calamity. A lot of people do have their life savings in like ETH and Bitcoin right now, which
Oh yeah,
I don't recommend doing it unless if you got the time to build up from the risk of going to zero.
oh yeah.
Like I said, I'm 39, so what I'm doing is I try to keep crypto at about 20% of my total net worth. It's not even close to that yet, but I don't put all my worth in there. I spread out my disposable income that I'm investing into multiple fields, and always, guys, create a reserve account for yourself. Don't ever go YOLO on this stuff or just, hey, I'm gonna make it. Like it's not gonna work. All you're doing is gambling at that point.
Yeah, what I'm about to say is pure speculation. This is not set in stone. But, Tether going down, I mean, I pretty much said, I'm saying the same, I'm repeating myself here, but Tether going down it would result in a lot of exchanges going under too. At one point, Coinbase didn't even support Tether. Now they do.
Yep.
And what I think is exchanges should run away from Tether. I think all exchanges should stop supporting Tether. And I think if enough exchanges that want to comply with the SEC and not get regulated to hell, they need to comply with that, and they need to
Mhm.
get rid of Tether.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
Tether, like if Tether going under, you can't fully get rid of Tether. That's not what I mean. I mean, if exchanges stop supporting it, there's eventually no demand for Tether, and if there's no demand for Tether, I mean, it would have less impact on the market. But then again, there's a lot of Bitcoin purchases with Tether, especially with how much
Mhm.
freaking Tether they print out. You know, Tether going under would report a significant loss. I mean, significant loss. So it's probably harder than FTX.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the biggest risk in the whole market right now. People want to talk about meme coins and shit coins and all that. I think Tether's the absolute biggest risk of all of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm just looking. Bear
And
with me.
I want to add on to what you say about the risk tolerance. Right
Mhm.
now, I'm 22 years old, and there is always a possibility of everything going to zero. Life is very unpredictable. But if my
Mhm.
assets, my digital assets do go to zero, I'll be 24, 25 years old, and I'll still be old enough to recover from it. Because right now I'm in a situation to where I have a bunch of risk tolerance, and I'm able to, take that risk.
Oh, absolutely. I say if you guys are young out there in your early 20s, you guys have the best chance to take the biggest risks. But keep in mind that even if you take that big risk and you lose, you're gonna have to put in a lot of hard work to
You're
get
going to
back.
have to put in a lot of hard work. And that's what I actually thought about this morning. If all my investments crash, I mean, yeah, I'll be very young still because, I'm 22 right now. But if that did happen, I would have to put in a lot of hard work to recover from that. And, that's not what I'm scared of. Hard work is not what I'm scared of. What I'm more worried about is finding more income sources to, recoup from that. But I mean, regardless, it's got to be done. I mean, we're in a capitalistic society and we got to keep going.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody's got problems, but like you said, eventually it's like people stop caring and it's mainly you that cares. And if you care so much,
Exactly.
you have to change that.
Exactly. You just have to make a change for you. And like I said, Tether is just it's a ticking time bomb. I personally don't have any involvement in Tether, but like I said, I can't say that I don't have exposure to Tether because they're so integrated into the crypto world. If it goes down, if it goes down, then we're having a real problem here.
And a lot of crypto enthusiasts, they keep laughing at the bank collapse, and all that. They keep talking about the bank collapse,
Hmm.
but literally, what is Tether? It's like you got to ask these people. Well, Tether is pretty much the same type of thing, Tether runs like these banks that has been going under. They don't even have enough cash. Like to me, they're just you have $400 million in cash. Like that sounds great to people like you and I. But when it comes to something like Tether, that's not enough cash when you have
No,
that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the market cap of Tether. It's like 86 billion.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't back billions of dollars with $400 million worth of cash.
yeah. You have to. I mean, that's even worse than banks.
Yeah.
Banks have at least 8.6 billion on reserve. They at 10% reserve ratio. This is like a 1% reserve ratio. I'm telling you, if a real auditing firm, like one of the big five accounting firms, really got in there and did an actual audit on Tether, they would quickly find out that someone's been siphoning off money off this sucker.
Oh yeah. And what Tether's just trying to rely on another bull run. That's all they're trying to do, like you and me.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a big hail mary for a company. Oof. Like and to have everything in Bitcoin, which isn't really guaranteed to be a full liquid asset to cover cash outs. I don't know what. Not only would they have to sell it, they would also dump the price of Bitcoin, further losing. I mean, we're probably seeing another Luna situation. Probably what's going to happen, but
That's what a lot of people are predicting, and that's what I
Mhm.
predict. And that's this is the wild, wild west, and that's what we signed up for with these
Oh yeah.
digital assets. But at the same time, it's like it could happen, and I think it's not even a could; it's a definite thing. But
Hmm.
it could be 3 years from now, it could be 4 years, it could be 2 years. Like you never know. I don't see it going down anytime soon. I think it would take more. I think it would take another bull run. And once we have a bull run and everybody's interest is on it, I think that'll make like auditing firms and regulations want to come back in. Because as you noticed, before last bull run, nobody talked about,
Oh,
re-
absolutely.
regulations then talk. It's always when a bull run comes when you see the topic of regulations coming in and all that, it's always a bull run.
Yep. Yeah. Well, let's take a quick look at XRP here because it's taking its time hitting my price target, but in the last 7 days here, it kind of dropped a little bit, but we've been holding steady at 42 cents. Uh, is it a good time to really dive in? I can't really say. I'm kind of hoping to go down to 35 cents. I was going to buy some XRP today, but it didn't drop as low as I wanted it to yet, so I haven't bought any XRP yet. So, but what are your thoughts, Cody? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, with the SEC thing, still like it could, like you said, it could take another year for that, the Ripple case to resolve. But we're in a pre-halving year, and I think once June and July comes around, we're gonna see some real blood in the markets. Not even just in crypto, but in stocks and everything too. Because
Mhm.
I forgot what it was that I was looking at, but energy drinks are going up right now too in popularity, and
Oh yeah.
that's increasing it in the consumer markets as well. You see things spiking, but things are going to go down quickly in my eyes.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're headed for the bear part of the first part of the bull run heat up. Like this is all like the pre warm up phase to this bull run, and I think it's about ready to really start to spike here. XRP though, I mean it's going to take a while, but I think after the first year, once we get to I say the end of 2024, that's probably when it's going to go back on the exchanges. They're going to win the case. Everything's going to be resolved and settled. XRP is going to get over the $4 hump. I think it's going to probably get to $10 in that
Oh,
bull, and that'd
it
be the
could.
time to take some profits.
I'm what I plan on for XRP. If it hits all time high, and this is my recommendation. People talk about DCAing in the markets, but you got to know when to DCA out. And when it hits that all time high, I think people should definitely start taking profits, maybe 10%, 20% of your
Mhm.
holdings. That's what I would do. The first profit takeout would be around all time high, and I would just keep DCAing out as we keep going past all time high. And
Exactly.
that's if we go back to all time high, and that's always the chance to.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. That's usually what I do. I just kind of skim off the top a little bit and I keep it relative. So like if XRP all of a sudden goes to $10 and now it's like 90% of my value of my portfolio, I skim it back down to where it's 20% and take the profits and we either redistribute or we move them out to a different asset. Usually that's what I do. I usually take profits from stocks, put them into crypto, take profits from crypto, put them into stocks and real estate. So that's my method. I'm not saying it's the right one, but it's just the one that I use. Most people like to skim off the top and just leave it as cash or in a stable coin. I don't like to do either. I like to put it right into another asset.
Yeah, and hold on, say real quick. I guess I can't leave the app while talking because I'm on my
Yeah.
phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't.
I was gonna pull up an interesting note that I was gonna share, but I don't memorize the full words, so I don't
Oh,
want
okay.
to spread misinformation. But they're talking about too how regulators are going to crack down on influencers when it comes to what they
Mhm.
promote, which I think is a good thing. They're saying not financial advice is not necessarily going to save you in court anymore if you do go and let's say you promote a rug pull and you're saying, oh,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
not financial advice. Regulators come after. Now I'm not saying that is the case for XRP, but let's say you promote Pepe coin or you promote like some new coin and then it ends up being a rug pull. Well,
Mhm.
a lot of people they hear influencers say not financial advice and then but they'll
Mhm.
buy into it anyway just because the person. So pretty much their logic is that's not going to help anything. The influencer itself, that's what's going to make people buy into it. And I think they should
Mhm.
crack down on those influencers because it is the Wild West and people get scammed, but it's like, damn, I'm tired of seeing rug pulls.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like it is hard getting getting these people prosecuted for rug pulls. It's like I've seen people just say, "Oh, it's not financial advice." It's like you gotta be very, very, very careful. I have a Series 7 license. I'm a licensed broker. And I can tell you right now, I can't really say it's a guarantee. I can't tell you something's a guarantee and sell it to you. I have to tell you the full risks and rewards of everything before I go, before I allow you to buy. Like I can't, I have to be as
Transparent.
transparent as possible and fulfill my fiduciary responsibility to every client. Now, on YouTube, you're not my paying client. However, I still have a fiduciary responsibility according to the SEC to give you correct, valid information. I can't give you misinformation and then pocket money. So just to go to show you guys, this like I'm playing with live money. So if I tell you something and then it goes in the opposite direction, I lost a lot too. So if I'm telling you XRP is going down to 35 cents, I think I'm losing somewhere about $50,000 if it drops. But I'm buying. But I just to me that's not a mind blowing experience. Like I lose and it comes and goes every day for me like that. So I'm not too worried about losing 50,000.
Yeah, and we're talking about the risks of this market. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but
No, no worries.
Tether is a big one, and we have a lot about the congestion of Bitcoin. We have the high fees right now. You have a lot of coins like Pepe coming out of thin air. I mean, those are the risks. But if, like I said, if you're young, like me, and you take on that risk tolerance, that's what you're signing up for. And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's easy to say right now, everything could go to zero, and when it actually does, it's a painful experience. But it's like, you learn a lot along the way too. I think that could change a lot of people's perspective on life.
Exactly. And I just wish people would, because like the flashiest influencer is most likely not the one to follow, especially if they're promoting something. I've always taken if someone's telling me that they're heavy promoting and telling me that I should be buying something, I'm very skeptical of it first, and I do my research. Even with Cody, I did my research before every coin and the ones he was recommending. I do my research and I decide if it's the right fit for my investment style or what I'm looking to do. But I also have to keep in mind, I'm not trying to 100x. I'm just trying to earn 20, 30%. And when I get a 50, 60% return, I take my money out. Just like one of my biggest investments of all time was getting in Tesla in 2012, and I just kept putting into it till about 2015. And then when during pandemic, I cashed out a little bit. So like that's what I do. I'm not trying to plan on make a lot of money. We get out and we find something else that's going to give us 100x. That's impossible. That really is playing the lottery, and only a handful of people are ever going to make
That's a
that
yeah,
scenario
that's a
realistic.
losing mentality.
Hmm. Yeah. So, but you guys, just beware. There is a lot of risk involved with XRP. XRP is not a in the bag thing. I'm hoping it is, but if I lose all my money that I put into XRP, I'm not going to be losing my mind over it. I'll just be moving on to my next asset. I if I have 2 out of the 20 assets win, then I've made money. So if I lost on the other 18, it doesn't really affect me as much. So with that said, there's a lot of risk involved in XRP. You don't know what the case is going to be. It's very hard to predict those type of things because they can go either way, and it's really up to right now Judge Torres as to what that judge is going to do. So with that said, I would just dollar cost average, put a little bit in. If you only got $20, then $20 is what you can spend. Like, don't try to do 2,000 at once, or put your whole tax return into it. If anything, put your whole tax return into an index fund. That would be more beneficial for you.
Exactly.
So with that said, our hour kind of coming up, guys. Thanks for following us. Like and subscribe. Follow us. Link is in there in the email. If you want to email me any questions or anything, I'm more than happy to help. I'll try to get to you when I can. I do run two businesses. Cody's out here hustling, working, working to try to build his stack, and he's a young guy trying to get there, just like many of you guys are. But thank you for guys for all the support. Try to subscribe, like, and share this video. It really helps us and help us get to 500 subscribers. We really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.